It was 7:03 a.m. on a cold Monday morning when the janitor, Alonzo Wright, unlocked the gym building at Madison Ridge High School, nestled in the quiet suburban stretch of Fairfield, Connecticut. He was halfway through his morning routine, unlocking the side doors, turning on the lights, and brewing that burnt-smelling pot of coffee in the faculty lounge, when he noticed something strange. The locker room door was ajar. Alonzo was used to kids sneaking in early, especially the overachievers, basketball players, swimmers, sometimes just kids looking for quiet. But this? The door wasn't just unlocked. It looked forced. He pushed it open gently, the smell hitting him first. Sweat. Something unnatural. Then he saw the feet. Bare, pale, sticking out from behind the row of lockers like a mannequin. But this wasn't a prank, and it wasn't a mannequin. Not this time. She was on her back. Her hands were tied with a phone charging cable, her lips swollen and purple, and her throat, Alonzo couldn't even look twice. Blood had seeped into the tile grout, thick and dried. It was Ms. Layla Hart, the 28-year-old English and drama teacher. Popular, charismatic, beautiful. The one students loved and parents suspiciously watched. And now gone. The scream Alonzo let out echoed through the hallways like a fire alarm. Fairfield wasn't a place for scandals. It was the kind of town where neighbors brought each other leftover casseroles, where teens had curfews and dogs were always on leashes. But the moment Layla Hart's body was wheeled out in a zipped black bag, the illusion cracked. By noon, helicopters were buzzing above Madison Ridge High. Reporters hounded the front gates. Students texted each other frantic theories. And within 24 hours, one horrifying rumor ignited the town like wildfire: she was sleeping with students. The principal, Martin Hale, denied it to every news outlet. Ms. Hart was a beloved member of our teaching staff. Any claims being circulated are not only baseless but disgusting. But inside the school? Everyone already knew. Everyone had seen things. Junior year students whispered about how she stayed late with Tyler, the track team captain who suddenly stopped coming to class 2 months ago. Others mentioned how Jason, the moody theater kid, once bragged at a party about hooking up with a teacher who likes poetry and red wine. And then there was Ryan, the quiet sophomore who wore all black, sat alone, and posted cryptic lyrics online that suddenly made too much sense. They weren't just rumors anymore. They were puzzle pieces. And someone, maybe one of them, had killed her. By the next day, detectives Elena Marquez and Robert "Bobby" Delaney from the Fairfield Homicide Unit were sitting in the conference room of Madison Ridge High, face to face with the administration, and nobody had answers. Principal Hale folded his arms tightly, his face pale. She was professional, he insisted. Maybe a little too close to the students, but nothing criminal. You don't get to be teacher of the year, and Detective Marquez cut him off. She was found strangled with her hands tied behind her back in your school, Mr. Hale. Forgive me if I don't take awards as proof of innocence. Meanwhile, Officer Delaney flipped through Layla's personnel file. Her records were spotless. Stellar reviews. Letters of recommendation from every district she ever worked in. But it was what wasn't in the file that worried him. There were no disciplinary notes. No parent complaints. No late meetings logged with students. She had either covered her tracks perfectly, or someone had helped her. The detectives started where most murder cases start in 2025, social media. Layla Hart had a secret Instagram account, under a pseudonym. @LitLovingLady, private but not private enough. Within an hour, Marquez uncovered DMs with 3 different teenage boys. All former or current students. They weren't just casual conversations. There were photos. Shirtless. Suggestive. One even more explicit, sent from a student's account named @TyRunsFast. That was Tyler Dean, 17, the school's star sprinter. Straight A student. The golden boy. And he wasn't alone. The same folder on Layla's phone contained screenshots of text threads with Jason Miller, 18, a theater student known for his intensity, and Ryan Cole, 16, the quiet sophomore with the angry poetry. Each of them had at some point called Layla baby. Each of them had been alone with her regularly. Each of them had motive. The first to be brought in was Tyler. He sat stiffly across from the detectives, his athletic jacket zipped up tight, hands shaking. "She told me I was different," he whispered. "That I was mature. She said no one understood her but me." "When did it start?" Delaney asked. Tyler stared at the table. "Last year. I went to her classroom for extra credit. She poured me a glass of wine and said, 'You're not a boy anymore.'" Marquez narrowed her eyes. "And when did it end?" Tyler's jaw tightened. "When I found out about the others." Jason Miller was more brazen. He wore a black hoodie and smirked the entire time. Yeah, I loved her. You don't get it, she got me. She said I had a poet's soul. She read my scripts, came to my shows. She even talked about moving away with me. To where? He shrugged. Portland. She hated it here. Said this town was a coffin. Delaney leaned in. What about the others? Tyler? Ryan? Jason's smile cracked. She told me they meant nothing. I believed her until I saw them kissing in her car. His hands balled into fists. I wanted to burn the whole school down. Ryan Cole was the hardest to reach. His mother sat beside him, pale and frantic. He doesn't talk to anyone, she whispered. Please. He needs therapy, not interrogation. But Ryan surprised them. I loved her. His voice was soft, broken. She made me feel seen. She said I was brilliant, that the world didn't deserve me. Did you know about Tyler and Jason? Marquez asked. Ryan nodded, eyes filling with tears. She lied. She told each of us we were her only one. Like a game. He reached into his hoodie pocket. Delaney tensed. But Ryan just pulled out a crumpled, stained piece of paper. A handwritten note from Layla. The ink blurred with water damage or tears. You're not like the others, Ryan. You see my pain. And I see yours. I love you. All 3 students were being groomed, manipulated, used. And now one of them might have killed her. But the case wasn't that simple. Because just before they wrapped up their interviews, Officer Delaney's phone buzzed. Sir, a junior officer said on the line. We pulled security footage from the gym parking lot the night of the murder. You're gonna want to see this. He hit play. At 10:14 p.m., a figure in a dark hoodie entered the gym building through the east side, alone. At 11:46 p.m., that same figure left. But this time they were dragging a duffel bag. Large. Heavy. Marquez squinted. The timestamp was clear. The face, though, blurry. But there was one unmistakable clue. The person was wearing track cleats. And only one of the 3 boys still had access to those. Delaney stared at the footage. The shadows flickered under the harsh orange glow of the parking lot lights. A silhouette, tall, lean, moving quickly but confidently, headed toward the gym entrance. No hesitation. No looking over the shoulder. Freeze it right there, he said. The technician paused the frame. It wasn't clear enough to make a direct ID, but the outline was telling. The person's posture, stride, and most damning of all, the sound. Because the gym's outdoor camera had audio. And as the figure walked, the unmistakable click-clack of metal track spikes on asphalt echoed through the speaker. Only one of the 3 boys still had a key to the athletic supply room. Tyler. Delaney rubbed his face. Kids running out of places to hide. But Marquez wasn't ready to make that call. Maybe. Or maybe someone wants it to look like him. She turned back to the evidence board, now covered with photos. Layla's body, the rope marks on her wrists, the wine glass from her classroom that tested positive for multiple fingerprints, Tyler's, Jason's. And someone else's. A partial print. Unmatched. As for the duffel bag, it hadn't just been dragged. It had been left in the woods behind the football field, half buried under wet leaves just off a jogging path. Found by a groundskeeper walking his dog. Inside it were a pair of blood-stained gloves, a broken phone with the SIM card removed, and worst of all, a diary. Layla's. With months of handwritten entries. Some about guilt. Some about fear. Some about fantasies too explicit to read without flinching. But on the final page, dated just 2 days before her death, one sentence stood out in jagged red ink. I think one of them knows what I've done. And I think he wants me dead. In court, Tyler broke down, confessing through sobs he hadn't meant to kill her, only scare her. The jury found him guilty of second-degree murder. As cameras flashed, Jason and Ryan watched in silence. The town buried its shame, but Layla's diary haunted every page of their memories forever.